Welcome back to Combust Astrology. Today I'm going to be covering the new moon, well, the upcoming new moon in Taurus. It's being recorded ahead of time. And I really want to say that throughout all the transits, even the Jupiter and Taurus conjunction, this is uh, really my favorite run. I really love this conjunction that we're having. Um, and it's also a new supermoon. So, this is really straightforward, but it requires you to do a little bit more work as most of April required us to do a lot of self work. That way we can actually have everything going. There's a lady called Dark Star Astrology, and she has this analogy where she says that we, as humans, we are the soil, and the seeds that we plant every few days with our subconscious are affected by the weather, and we can have clouds and stuff like that, have a sunshine, you know. Now, the weather is the transits, and if I remember correctly, um, our beliefs are us in the sense of a gardener. So, our physical body would be the soil, and the things that we think subconsciously would be the seeds, and then consciously we are the actual gardener. I am not going to try to draw gardening tools, maybe like a spade or something. I don't know. But all that we can do with astrology is know what could come, but we don't necessarily know, if it's going to rain or if it's going to shine um, in the matter of the circumstance. But we can definitely go about pruning and um, raking and fertilizing the seed so that way it can give us a really good outcome. And a lot of the Aries and Pisces that we dealt with these past 2 months has been, in essence, trying to make sure that these two are really taken care of. So that way the gardener has a better job, has an easier job, really. Because the outcome of the actual attempt to take care of the seed is that we can actually watch plants grow or have flowers or anything like that. I am so bad at trying to look like a sun. But yeah, I really like this analogy, and I'm going to credit her. Her name is Dark Star Astrology, and I will definitely link her because I really think that that is so true. In order to get what you want, you really want to think about what it is that you want, but then you also actually have to be able to be in a state to get it. Meaning, like, and this sounds so like motivational or so simple, but it's like quite literally trying to sleep a little bit earlier, trying to actually get enough rest, right? And that would be all the things that we can do for the soil itself, where the seed would be listening to positive things, not listening to music. I had a client who I spoke with um, during the earlier part of this week or last week, and she had stated that she's trying to connect more with God by not listening to music. And I was like, that was monumental because then it's like you and your antenna, I guess you could say, is like unclouded. It's open and it's free and it's unaffected by everything. And I think that's amazing. You definitely can, with astrology, see what comes up in the future. And that's been a lot on my mind lately with transits, bad transits, for instance. And that's also part of her video. When you really look at what's coming in the future, it can overwhelm you, especially if you know how to. Or you can say, in order to brace for impact, I take care of myself and I'm going to actually move forward with the best view, vision, idea in mind, you know. Like for instance, I'm going to be traveling. I'm not thinking about all of the delays or layovers or missed flights, or maybe my hotel isn't ready, or maybe my rental insurance, and maybe like you're not thinking about all of the worst possible outcomes. You're thinking about the good things that can actually come out from this. You're more positive, and that is easier said than done. Trust me, I very much understand. But the Mercury and Chiron here is just asking for at least removal, right? If this is the soil that we have as ourselves and the seeds is where the Mercury and Chiron is being focused on right now, this is basically removing weeds or, maybe pests, having to find new unconventional ways of cleaning things. Cleaning off, maybe bugs that are getting on the plants and not actually, killing the plants or using like hard pesticides or stuff like that. Really trying to make the most use of all that. Um, I also really want to touch upon we're still within this Jupiter and Uranus um, conjunction here, and it's like this is like holding hands. This kind of reminds me of groups of people that are friends, and the friendships that they have interchangeably just work long term. Like if you have the friend that actually doesn't need to be around you 24/7, you guys can talk, and that's enough for the next 3 months. Like I have many friendships like that, and I've come to realize that a lot of it comes from the fact that with Taurus and all the other earth signs are very, for the most part, at their healthiest. They're very much okay by themselves. Like they're very secure. And so what you'll find with a lot of Taurus people is they're cool to do things on their own. I think Virgo would be the one that wants to fix things constantly, but unless you found someone with like a Saturn in Taurus and it's like in the fourth house and they absolutely need others in that way. But you really just look at where Taurus and the earth signs and they're just like, hey, we wake up, we got a routine, and we're just gonna get it done and don't step on my lawn, you know? So if you can definitely come in and out of a Taurus's home, um, s- in a way of like they don't need you to be there 24/7. Don't act fake, but they're pretty cool with you being who you are and not really coming every single hour to speak with them. And I pull that in reference because that giant stellium of Taurus that we got going down there in the fifth, especially, is about like this is gonna take a while, but if you can start the habits now, it won't be so painful. Meaning, this is not something that you dilly-dally over. And when you set this intention, you want it for the longer term. You actually want whatever it is for the longest term possible. When Mars and Saturn were conjuncting over here in Pisces, and now we have this again, we had the conjunction of Jupiter Uranus exact, and I saw a lot of people saying, like, I'm not seeing things happen immediately. I thought this was supposed to be a big conjunction. And I think that's like the problem. You're going to see change, but what is exponential? You know, someone sent me a video about this, and I really love this, but something is usually exponential a few seconds before. When it really goes to the sky, it's a few seconds before. It's doubling up, right? It might go to two, it might go to four, and then from here, like it just keeps. doubling, and it doubles very quickly, but it's the last seconds of the doubling up that you actually see it move, and the rate could be increasing as well as it actually continues. So you don't see exponential till the very end, and in the first grassroots of the exponential, it is pretty slow. But the thing is that this is all momentum, and this, like, for lack of better words, portal that is being opened now, it's it's going to be something that in looking back by 5 or 10 years from now, you're going to be like, wow, I should have asked for more, or I should have really zoned in or locked in and like zoned out of everything else besides um, that, you know? So definitely keep that in mind. This is the best time to set an intention. This is the best time to say this is exactly what I want to do with things and move forward to actually be able to get exactly what you want. Because moving forward in these next few months, we will get opportunities where you can always set an intention. But I just feel like it's an absolute flex for your soul, if anything, to be able to say that I was around consciously aware of this to actually set up what I wanted with this nice conjunction that we have here, with the nice supermoon, with it all being in Taurus. And, we're going to see Jupiter Uranus conjunctions again, but you're not going to get it like this for a while. So, really live up to this for yourself, at least. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up the new moon. I really wanted to focus on that more than the other aspects. I'm aware of the other things here, but this for me is like blaring. It was just Aries and Taurus. So, hope you guys enjoy your new supermoon and take care.